A Spicy Mustard says, oh my fucking God, I'm too pretty to have to commute and not be able to afford a place to live because I'm young and I got my first big girl job. Now, again, not to let my misogyny out for a walk.
I'm sure it won't.
But when we talk about women in the workplace and do they belong there, if you use the term big girl job, you should be a wife and a homemaker.
All right, and I'm not disagreeing with you in the slightest, but if there are women out there who just want to look for a man to be that thing, I'm worried now. Like, let's say if I did that, I'm worried that I'm looked at as a gold digger. Like, I just
By who,
assume I get to be.
By who?
I'm afraid of the men thinking that.
I don't think
that's
any
the
men
only
would
person
think
that
that
should think that, because you have to pay for everything.
The women. Here's the thing about women. They all do it to each other. They all do it to each other and then blame the patriarchy. They go, oh, I'll be shamed if I'm a mother. No guy does that.
No. If you're just out looking for a man because you want to stay home. And
no guy looks at that as
a homemaker.
No guy looks at that as a shitty thing.
I don't.
Women do that.
Part of me doesn't believe that that's every man. That they'd just be cool with it. I think you're projecting a little bit.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of guys who are like, first of all, the guys who are like more lefty and progressive would be too scared to say that. They go, no, you should be able to do whatever you want to. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says women complaining about working. All right, we'll check this one out in just a little bit. That's 11 some odd minutes, buddy. I don't know if we can go through this whole thing. We'll take a look maybe in overtime. If we hit it, that is. I don't want to be too presumptuous.
What do you think about that, Aaron?
I got to tell you, a lot of the things you've been saying about anger and fear and all that stuff have really been hitting with me because, we've got 3 kids. I've definitely come from a father who could be pretty angry at times. And then when you have, the show, the business, and then there's kids in the house, and, I can get angry. And recently, April and I had a conversation, and I had maybe like a Jesse Lee style epiphany where I said to her, I go, every time I've been angry about something, it's always because I'm afraid that you're not, feeling well, and I want to help you feel better. And I'm afraid that I can't help, and I'm afraid about, and I went, oh my God, that's all. Instead of me going to people and saying, hey, I care about you guys, I just want to make sure you're all right, I got angry. And for the last week or so, I've been going with, well, just go to these people and care for them and care about them and help them along instead of trying to drag them to where you need to be. And I will tell you, Jesse, not having that anger, not letting the things you're afraid of be manifest in anger, but rather letting them be manifest in love has been I was saying this while you were on break. It's been a massive weight on my shoulders. I literally feel lighter, and I feel more respectful and loving towards the people in my life.
But your wife and your children will get better when you get better.
Yes.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
I will say this. Absolutely not. That is something that needs to be done.
And so how do you expect to help your wife get better if you haven't overcome your mother?
For us, we've talked about this on the show before. It's my mother and my father being disrespectful of the wife. So my loyalty was to my wife and how she was treated. And so that's kind of an ongoing thing. And I've asked my parents numerous times, I go, why don't you say you're sorry? Why don't you apologize? Why don't you make this right? And I haven't gotten that response. So both of us are kind of stuck on that.
But that's not the way it goes. You should forgive your mother for turning away from your father, and forgive your father for not protecting you. He was weak. He can't handle your mother. And once you forgive them, then you will see how to deal with them in a perfect way. If that means keeping them away from your family until they learn how to treat them in the right way. But they're not going to do it until you do it with the right spirit. You're afraid to tell them the truth. And so they still keep invading upon your family. You got to forgive your mother, man. What the?
Wow.
What the?
Well, Jesse, Jesse, I think if I did that, I think I would feel amazing.
You would feel amazing. You would be amazing. Yeah. And your wife, she's never going to respect you until you overcome your mother and you can deal with her in a perfect way. Your wife hates you because you're weak.
Especially since women are cunts and they will poison children against guys whenever they can. They can't help it. And it's not me, it's not you, it's not him, it's not the next guy, it's not this, it's not that. It's just they can't help but be in total control.
They do it with ease too, and you
Right.
know why? Because children eat up whatever their mom says, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
No matter,
I mean,
no matter what it is, guys.
women in
Be
divorces
careful.
are dastardly bitches. They're awful.
Yeah.
They're terrible human beings. And they poison children without even knowing they're doing it because they don't give a shit about the kids when they're doing it. They don't care about the kids. They care about themselves, and that's all. I did that with my ex-wife. Worked out great, says Cockdiff. Triple N says, draw a chalk line down the middle of the house. Yeah. I mean, guys have this attitude of, hey, man, for some reason, guys have the ability to separate. Guys can go, I hate her. Kids don't hate her. I hate her. That's not for me to put on the kids. I hate her guts, not the children.
Well,
So
yeah,
don't, that's
an
not a
adult
thing.
interaction.
But,
I hate you.
right. And we got to break the big news on that show. The news that we're breaking today for everybody else, and that is, of course, given the title, my second divorce is final.
And he's working on the third already.
It's done. The second one is in the books. The ink is dry. The papers are signed, and we are officially moving in our separate. I mean, we've been moving in our separate directions for months now.
Yeah, hers was over into someone's home.
Look,